I've been working with local groups here in this community for the past 4 or 5 years on trying to understand what's going on with poverty in this community, and I was really surprised, to be quite candid. What I documented is that after the recession, in terms of poverty, we never really recovered, which was counter to the stories that we were hearing in our popular discussion and dialogue. And the more I looked into it, the more we looked at the composition of neighborhoods in different parts of our community, this story of a tale of two cities became very evident the more we looked at the data. You know, if you think about in the northern part of our community, Cleveland Avenue, you know, basically paralleling a street like High Street, where we've seen massive reinvestment along the High Street corridor, the revitalization of the Short North, the investment near OSU, the stability and wealth of the Clintonville area is just a sharp contrast to Cleveland Avenue, where we have a corridor that was as vibrant as High Street was historically, but has really suffered from decades of neglect, of disinvestment, a lot of businesses that have closed, a lot of transportation and traffic issues just in terms of safety along this corridor. And what gets lost in that in many ways is that the Cleveland Avenue corridor, just like High Street, is still an important center of commerce and community for the Linden area.
In the last 10 years, 94% of the new jobs fall into the category of independent contract work, temporary work, jobs that have no job security, no benefits. That's what's growing. And in fact, 1 in 6 jobs in this country you're in that position, and 1 in 3 of those jobs, people are making less than $20,000 a year.
So Mid-Ohio Workers Association, we're an all-volunteer, non-government funded association of the area's lowest paid workers, people doing part-time, temporary, domestic work. More and more of the jobs out there, they don't pay enough, to survive. And we see that's the industry that's growing in Columbus. Knock on a door, find people, see what they're facing, sign them up, make them part of the association, and deliver benefits. Frankly, sometimes people, like I said, don't have utilities today, or they need food, or they need to see a doctor. So that's some of the requests we take.
We know how it is.
We've been in that boat.
We lost our apartment off Tamarack because of the fire and all that, and we've had all sorts of hardships. So, I mean, we know how it is to not have work and not be able to support anybody. So,
well, that's true, and we got to stick together because and none of us are safe until everyone's safe.
We know how hard it is.
All of these relatively low skill but decent paying traditional blue collar jobs that most cities in Ohio really depended on in many of these neighborhoods in terms of being the economic base have vanished at this point. And what we see with this new economy is a real divergence between high skill, high pay, low skill, low pay. And we've kind of hollowed out the middle in terms of our more traditional kind of middle income, middle class employment sectors. And so I think what we're seeing in our community in terms of this tale of two cities is also the division that's brought about by this new economy that we have in our city. And I think what Columbus represents is potentially a new national norm. Those divides are very powerful in terms of the effect that they can have, and you can really have communities sitting side by side who are divided by maybe only a mile or so, or a half mile, but a sharp distinction between the quality of life in those places.